Good morning and welcome to today's Monday prayer. A couple of weeks ago, I taught everyone a body prayer in the Monday prayer, which was a sort of way of engaging our body in different movements and poses, and accompanying that with a sort of a series of words and prayers. And I think body prayers are especially helpful and sort of get us out of our normal way of praying with simply words. And so just recently, I came across an article about Julian of Norwich, who was a Christian mystic in the 14th century in England. And the article was talking about a body prayer that she found especially helpful and that she used on a daily basis. And so I thought, because I know many of you enjoyed the body prayer that we did a couple weeks ago, that I would teach you this body prayer that I just learned as well. Now, before we jump into the body prayer itself, I want to sort of just talk a little bit about Julian of Norwich and sort of the environment that she was living in. So, as I said, she was in the 14th century in England. And if you're familiar with history, you might recognize that the 14th century of England was an especially chaotic, stressful, high anxiety time. You had the bubonic plague that was moving throughout Europe. You had the 100 Years' War. You had the Peasants' Revolt. And then you also had some turmoil within the church itself. And so this was an especially chaotic time. And Julian of Norwich found that body prayers were a way to deal with the high stress and anxiety. And I think that this body prayer can be especially relevant for where we are today. Obviously, where we are is different than 14th century England. But I know that many of us are also feeling sort of the stress and anxiety and the chaos of our times. And so I think teaching and participating in these body prayers, if they worked for Julian of Norwich in the 14th century, then they can work for us too. So her sequence of body prayers consists of 4 different poses. They are await, allow, accept, and attend. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of talk you through and show you what those movements are. And then the last 2 times I will do them sort of silently and encourage you to participate along with me. But I hope that you will do these different postures of prayer today as well as throughout this week. So the first posture is called await. And the way that we enter into this posture is by having cupped hands sort of out in front of our body. And now await is a way to receive the presence of God. We are waiting for God to come into our lives and surround us in this specific moment. And as we begin in this pose, I would encourage you to take some deep breaths, close your eyes, and try to relax and recognize that God is in our midst. The second pose that we go from here is called allow. And it's a posture of allowing ourselves to be open to the presence of God coming down to us in this moment, in this time, and in our life. And as with the first pose, I would encourage you to take a couple of deep breaths. Allow yourself to be open to the presence of God. The third pose is cupped hands over our heart. And this one is called accept. We are accepting whatever comes, recognizing that we are surrounded by God, but again, accepting whatever comes our way in life. Taking deep breaths as we enter into this phase. Now the fourth and last posture is called attend. We have arms outstretched with extended palms open, with a willingness to act on what has been given to us. And again, we're taking deep breaths as we enter into this posture. So what I find particularly helpful about this series of postures in prayer is that as we go through it, we are recognizing God in our lives, but then also responding to God. And so as we move through these 4 different phases, I would encourage you to sort of think about how God is active in your life, where you feel most connected to God, and then also how you want to respond to God yourself. So, as I said, we're going to move through these 4 phases twice now, and I hope that you will participate with me as we move through them. I'll do them silently, but I would encourage you as we sort of move through them to think about the 4 different phases that we talked about. So again, await, allow, accept, and attend. So let us enter into these body prayers. Amen. So again, I hope that you found this body prayer and the sequence of 4 different body movements helpful for you. I hope that you will participate in these body prayers. Again, this is from Julian of Norwich, a 14th century Christian mystic. And so I hope that you will pick up from the wisdom from Julian of Norwich and incorporate this into your prayer life. So happy Monday, blessings on the rest of your day and rest of your week. And thanks for tuning in. So we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.